Hey Scrapper Names fans, and welcome back to another process video from me. I have an art journal page to share with you today, and I'm working in my Dylusions journal. It's the same art journal I've had now for donkey's years. No, not donkey's years, but for about a year and a half, maybe a bit longer. Slowly getting there. And I am just having a play with no major plan. I'm playing with some new product I scored myself from the opening of a Kaiser Craft store here in Canberra, right down the road from me, so that could be a little bit dangerous. I've got a Kaiser Craft stencil, and I'm going to put some texture paste, modelling paste, whatever you want to call it in your neck of the woods, through this stencil around my page. I didn't have a set plan. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to put it all over the page, whether or not I was just going to put it in one spot. It was kind of really a mood page for me a little bit too. I think I was feeling a bit cranky this night in particular. To be truthful, hence the name of the video. So I have done the texture paste and it worked quite well, and now I'm using a new Kaiser Craft spray I brought amongst that little haul of mine, which would have been probably potentially even the same day, and it's a beautiful iridescent blue, and I'm just using some water to push it around. Now, I've been watching some videos, binge watching, as I haven't been very well the last few days, and I've gone back to trying to binge watch some YouTube to get some mojo and different ideas, and I think I know why when I use my paintbrushes they are not moving the paint the way others do so well. And I think I'm using the wrong kind of paintbrush. So that paintbrush I just used then, both of them aren't very pointed and very, aren't very movable. So the blue one that I use is sort of is that flat brush, and it just doesn't move very well when you use it on the page. So I'm going to try and find myself a brush I've seen others use, and see if that makes a bit of a difference in sort of dropping the water onto the ink sprays and seeing if that helps make the paint move. So now I've got my gorgeous Jane Davenport watercolors. I adore Jane Davenport and Jane Davenport's watercolors. Her watercolors will, I think, last forever because they are so concentrated, and as you can see, and the littlest bit will go across an entire page so well. So basically I just wanted to muck around with this paint palette because I haven't really played with the glitzy one. I've got the Brights palette and I really adore using that one, but this one I haven't used too much. I'm not sure about the darkness, the colours in it, I think, for me. So I haven't used them a lot. So I wanted to use them on this page. As I said, it was a bit of a mood page, so a bit of darkness, I think. Crankiness was coming out. But that's what art journaling is a bit about, I guess. Sometimes it's about getting, your thoughts, your moods, as well, out. Well, is for me. Sometimes I do them to trial new things. That's what my art journal was brought initially for. I use it to play around with new techniques and paints and all sorts of things that I don't want to try on my scrapbooking because I don't want to wreck a page, or I'm too scared to try it out and it's maybe not look so good. So I play with them in here and then, transfer them across. So I add some splatters there from the watercolor paints as well. Not knowing if I'm going to cover them up or not at the moment. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen here next. Basically, well, I do now, but I didn't know when I was in the process of this creation. And I apologise if my voice sounds a bit squeaky or a bit croaky or goes in and out for a moment. I am, as I said, still recovering from a bit of a throat and whatnot bug, and I lost my voice completely over the weekend, and pretty much, and it's comes and goes. So I just dry that off with my heat gun. As you can see, I did dab a little bit up with paper towel just because I didn't want some of the splatters to be too concentrated, and that was fine. And I'm a bit impatient and wanted it to dry quickly. So now I have my printables from Inky Quill's Patreon page. So I am a subscriber to one of her tiers on Patreon, which I'm sure you can look up or find the link in her videos, aka Adele Toomey. So I'm using her printables here which is in my folder, which you can see to my right and spread across in front of me. Trying to use up some of my stash, and this is part of my stash. I print them off religiously, or try to, and I don't always get to use them, so trying to play around here with them, which kind of is a bit odd because I've gone with some arrows and then I've gone, the blues and the reds because, as I said, originally I was feeling a bit cranky when I did this page, and now I'm going with just some florals. But as I said, there's no rhyme or reason when I do art journaling, and I think that's sort of the rule or no rule of art journaling. It's literally I'm just sticking and plonking and playing with stuff that's in front of me and using up some of my bits and pieces that I may not necessarily use on a scrapbook layout either. I don't see me using that big autumn leaf. Whilst we have, especially here at this house that I'm in now, we have a gazillion trees with a gazillion leaves that were fallen all around us. I don't necessarily, oh maybe I do, but yeah, I don't see me using it, so I'm using it here. It's all good, and you know what, I can always print it off. I have it downloaded, so yeah, bonus of. So yeah, trying not to think too much. That is my biggest problem. I am a scrapbooker and I'm not necessarily this creatively minded, like artsy creatively minded, and so everything for me is a bit straight lines and clean, and so working in an art journal and trying to just keep messy and not keep clean and straight lines is very, very tricky. As you can see there, I was placing things in a spot and they don't need to be, and I always have to remind myself of that. So I get rid of the flower in the middle. It just, to me, did not make sense in the end, but I wanted a focal image. So I'm having a bit of a look, and I discover that I had brought these die cuts last year at a craft show here in Canberra, with the purpose of using them in an art journaling sort of manner because they're a bit funky and art journaly. And this is where I went, yep, this cat on this lady's head just going rah, and I thought, yep, that was my kind of mood, I think, at that point in time. Feeling a bit closed in and just wanting to just go rah. So this was perfect. So I went with that. It's I can see it from here, the Dylusions. They're a Ranger brand die cuts. I think you still get them. They're not that old, really. So they're very funky. Definitely not, I don't think, well, it could be, I guess, a scrapbooky thing, but I deliberately brought them for art journaling. That was the sole purpose. So I found them when I cleaned out my stash and brought them, or when I moved and put them in my trolley, so they were right near me. So yes, I found them. Using some tissue paper here that I brought again in my Kaiser Craft haul recently. If you head on over to my Instagram page, which is scrappin_aims, you will see, I think I posted pictures as well as in my stories, my little haul that I got when they opened here. But that is actually the die release paper. I'm not really sure what it does with the whole die release thing. I'm sure obviously you use it some way, but it's far too pretty. So I brought it to use in layouts and things. So whatever. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. But I really quite love this page. I feel like I've can flick through my art journal, and there's some pages at the beginning that I'm just like, meh, very beginnery, and then this one I'm like, yep. As I said, I think I was feeling a bit inspired as well, and so more Inky Quill printables there. The stickers, I printed some of her art prints on stickers to stick on, and then I've used the pink paint pen to outline some of the arrows, and then a white paint pen to add some splatters, which weren't going as well as I'd hoped. But yes, I was feeling a bit inspired, and after watching some YouTube videos, which I think is what's missing a little bit with me at the moment, I'm missing some creative inspiration. So it's time to binge watch. But here's some close-ups of my page. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions about my techniques or anything, put them in the comments. But I will see you again very soon. There will be an Craft Room Tour video up in a few days too, so stay tuned for that one. Bye for now.